everyone, and welcome to Zest to Zen with me, Shel Marie, the podcast that will take you on a journey from the hustle to the harmony, fueling your passion whilst finding your peace. Today, it's an absolute honor to welcome Marta Spirk, a professional singer, TEDx speaker, best-selling author, and speaking coach, and I'm sure so much more. She guides and helps her clients turn their personal stories into powerful keynote talks that inspire, empower, and create real impact, which is super important. Through her unique blend of storytelling, stagecraft, and strategy, she transforms the way leaders express their message, showing that your voice isn't just meant to be heard, it's meant to move hearts and open doors, which is important that we have the power behind the intention. May this episode be a reminder that when we speak from the heart, truly from the heart, we awaken the hearts of others around us. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much. What a powerful introduction. I appreciate it.
Well, you're worth every spoken word, which I love because that's clearly the theme of what we're going to be talking about today. The power of not only words, but the way we express our words, which I think you will definitely have more to say than me, is very, very important. So first of all, just because I know this is a really beautiful part of your not only your training, but also a part of you, your creative self-expression, which is your singing. And I would love your take on this, because I know there's many songs that we enjoy and they're so powerfully put together, but often I think people aren't really connecting with actually the message of the words sometimes. And when we really sing that passion, and it's not saying that some of the things we're singing are not for our highest good, like we should enjoy music, but I think sometimes it is important to be conscious of the message of the song. And I know, just because I had a little sneaky peek, that you don't just sing other people's songs, you write your own. So I would love to just know more about that, really.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for asking. Yeah, the whole songwriting process was a process for me, much like anything else in life, but especially in business, in imposter syndrome, and wondering, do I even have something relevant to say, or how can I put it together? And I actually started writing the songs based on my studies of personality types and the Enneagram, which I'm a super geek on all kinds of different frameworks. But for the longest time, the Enneagram was the one that really spoke to me and helped me see myself. It really worked as a mirror and helped me understand my way to be in the world and other people as well in relationships. And what I ended up doing was writing a song for each of the types, kind of like creating an encouraging message for each of those wounds, essentially, because that's how the personalities come to be, a little bit of nature, a little bit of nurture. And a lot of it is, the ways we find to protect ourselves based on the pain that we're feeling growing up is how we show up in the world. And I believe it's our job as adults later on to understand those patterns and kind of unwind them and find peace within ourselves. And so that's the message of each of the songs. I've released 2 of them. I produced another one that I haven't released yet, but I have others that I have written still. But the ones that I have out, obviously all of them are encouraging and they speak to everybody. But my favorite, which is called You Are Enough, is the one that I wrote for my personality type, which is type 3 on the Enneagram. That struggles a lot with, the need to achieve and to feel worthiness based on actions and achievements. And I think a lot of us, especially entrepreneurs, resonate with that. What's the next thing I'm going to do? And you don't even take time to celebrate how far you've come.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. I knew there was more depth to it. And can I just really acknowledge as well, and thank you for being so open and honest, saying that you had that, if I use your words correctly, the imposter syndrome, because there's young and having a passion, and there's comments, and not always others' comments, but our own internal lovely comments that often can yeah, like cause a blockage in things that we love and enjoy as a child. And I know, for example, I used to really, really, really love singing from my heart. And as a child, we don't always know the lyrics, and we're sometimes singing very inappropriate songs. And again, the feedback we could get is based on the adult's interpretation of the lyrics, and it's not necessarily about you singing. So I think sometimes, like, these things that come into our life and enter, they have a big impact on us. So I think there's as a professional singer, there's singing the song of someone else, and there's writing your own and putting it out there. And I think I just want to really like express so much gratitude to you for that, because it's raw, it's real, it's vulnerable, and it's ready for everyone to see. And if I'm sure you can expand on this, but if you really want to conquer something, I think you mastered that.
Oh. Thank you. I always say, I believe that one of the lessons that I'm here to learn and also impart is finding your next level of discomfort. Oof. Because that's where you find growth. And all of us have a different layer to explore. And it's different for everybody, because what may be challenging for me may not be challenging for you, and vice versa. It doesn't matter. What matters is I'm on my journey. What's the next thing that I can do that I haven't done? And that's why, if I'm feeling pulled to do it, right, you don't have to do all the things. But if you're feeling that nudge, then challenge yourself and do it. And I think for me, releasing my own music was one of those things, because I thought, why would I do it? I couldn't do it. Nobody would care. And I lean into that, and it's like, why not me? And I surrounded myself with people that supported me, that helped me. I had a voice coach who was also my songwriting coach that helped me through the process. Because at times we feel, oh my gosh, it's this huge mountain, there is no way, but you want to do it.
Yeah.
Well, then how can you make this mountain a little less scary? Well, you find resources and you find people that can help you, because if it's been done, then you can do it. And many people, write songs and publish songs and do all the things. It doesn't mean that they're going to win a Grammy or that they're going to be a celebrity, but they are still doing it, which means it's possible. So that's the thought process that I went through, and honestly that I go through with everything in life.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, Marta. And I guess that feeds beautifully into how you take that fuel that you ignite and embody into your own life, and you can be empathetic and relatable, and see the perspective of another. Because something you just so very crucially touched on was something that might be not a fear for me, may not for you. And I think often, we need to be more a little empathetic, because I think sometimes we see it as like this, but we don't know the whole reason behind the actual blockage. So yeah, I love that you through your, because I believe that's a powerful thing you can share with your clients, that proves, I'm not just here now being on a stage and doing this, like I'm still pushing myself out of my comfort as much as possible. So how do you take that that kind of fuel, I feel, that you push into your own life, and infuse it into your clients and give them that belief you are enough?
Yeah, I think a lot of it starts with how I show up in the world and draw people in, because the people that want to work with me, they already have to have at least the desire to explore that next step, right? I can't force anybody to do that. I do push them once they say yes to working together. So there has to be that consensus, right? And the consent of, okay, Marta, I'm ready for this. Once we get started, that's really what we explore is, what does this look like for you? What have you done before? What is something that you would like to do? I really need to get a grasp of where they've been and what they're wanting to accomplish. And typically, we extend that a little more to what's that next thing, even after what you are already wanting to do. Because typically people sell themselves short, right? They think, well, my big dream would be X, which is great, but there's something else that you could do after that. So let's aim higher once we achieve that one, because we often feel like we're not capable. And I believe that as a coach, that's part of my responsibility too, or my promise, right, is to be like, let's stretch you a little further. And it's amazing to see that some clients are super willing and they're like, just, throw me out in the deep end and let's do it. Some others, and this all depends on personality types. That's why I love
Yeah.
studying that, because people have different backgrounds, right? They're like, oh no, I don't feel comfortable. And then I hear from them. I actually had a call with a client yesterday who was super fearful of reaching out to people, increasing her rates, all the things. And that's also part of what I work with, because everything is speaking.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be,
yeah.
standing on a stage, spotlight on you with a mic in hand. That is also what speaking is. But it's having a conversation like this, or having a private conversation with somebody. It doesn't matter. So then she discloses that I decided to say, F it, I'm going to ask for more. I'm going to propose this. And the person said yes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, congratulations on, listening to yourself and pushing. So that's really what I do. I work as a mirror. And that's my favorite part, is when they can't see it themselves. And that's why they're hiring me.
Yeah, of course.
I'm being that mirror to say, you are enough. You have a great story to share. There are people out there that need to hear this from you. Because that's the other thing, is so many books have been published. So many people already have businesses or whatever it is. Why would anyone listen to me? And it's similar to me in my songwriting journey, right?
Yeah.
Because some people will only get that message from you, because you are unique. So, and if you're feeling the nudge, then that's, I heard someone once say, if you're feeling the need to do something, there's probably somebody out there asking for that, or already yearning for it, and you're fulfilling that need. So do it.
That's really beautiful. And I love that, almost taking it off it being about us all the time. Because, you hear the other side of it of, that if there's a longing for something, that desire was placed in you, and that's why. And I love how you flip it, because it's easy to say that, but when someone's already got that about being seen, and then it's like that desire is because it's something, and it's like that's added pressure.
Yes.
Whereas I think when you take it, and I've done this before as a coach myself, and said, not in this type of way, but almost actually don't make it about you. See it as you. And what you're expressing has the ability to change someone else's life. And when we do that, which is probably linked to your Empowered Woman book, I think, it just takes that pressure off that, for using your voice, for expressing yourself. You could be that one that maybe you needed at the time when you didn't have that. And I also love how, I think this is really important to define as a coach, how we're not here just to do the cheerleader. We are here to push the boundaries, to really do the breakthrough. So thank you for that. One thing that I'm really interested, and I guess it's personal to every person, but from my own experience of signing up to a speaker course once, and this again is only just personal to my experience, but how do you take it so it's still authentic to the person and their message? So for example, I remember and it could just be the way this course was, but they wanted us to go really deep into wounds from childhood. And I remember it being like there was a stage and it was kind of like, cut. Okay, no, we want more emotion. Maybe try to make yourself cry. And there was just something in me that just was like, no, I can't be here right now. This is because, and again, I'm sure for the other people, it's all our own personal thing, but there's having a coach and taking your message and implementing it, but also, I think we have to be also cautious about when it becomes more performative rather than from the heart. And I'm sure it was still from the heart, but when someone's telling you to repeat it 5 times and rehearsing how to add more emotion to make people cry, I just, something inside me was like, no, this is not for me.
I feel like it is important to bring storytelling so that you connect emotionally with people. What I see typically is people focus so much on the how-to and the practical side, and then there is no connection with the audience. You walk away with, pages and pages of notes, but you don't know really how that applies to your situation. And I believe bringing in storytelling is usually what speakers lack. And so to your point, I think it is powerful to connect, not necessarily to a big wound, but what I call a pivotal moment. And however much you add emotion to it and how much you share, because some people have gone through very traumatic things.
Yeah.
And when they come to me, asking for help on how to share it, what they want is to not make it a pity party. And you don't want to bring people down with your story. You want to motivate them to do something. So I feel like it has to be very clear, where are you taking these people? What is the purpose of sharing this story, so that it adds connection to the how-tos that you're going to be sharing. So it's really a balance, finding that harmony between what's in it for them. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to just come here and share with you how my life has been so hard and I've come through, because what's in it for you? You're going to be inspired and say, wow, that's amazing. I'm so glad you came on the other side. You went, and you're doing fine. But they need to see themselves in my story.
Absolutely.
Right? And they need to be able to pull lessons from that story. Because at the end of the day, and this is really what I help clients with, is to, at the end of their talk, say, maybe you didn't go through this. Maybe you didn't have a stroke. Maybe you didn't have a loved one die. Maybe you didn't lose everything. But I'm sure you resonate with the feeling of X, Y, and Z.
Yes, absolutely.
Because at times we feel like people will connect the dots. It's not their job. If they do, that's great. Because again, it's personal. Some people are more self-aware. Some people are farther along in their healing journey and in their personal growth journey to connect. But it's really your job as a speaker to create that connection for them. And so I agree with you that you're not supposed to. I think there is an element of performance in terms of evoking emotion, but not to bring people down.
I agree. And I actually think as well, going from like a safe environment where we're kind of talking through that, it's naturally when you go on that stage and it's an audience, and as even an actress or anybody, even going to a speaking event, it's like you're naturally going to tap into that anyway, because the emotions inside of you. So I 100%, and I'm sure you know this as well, like absolutely people need to know, like, about the kind of making sure you're looking at different parts of the audience. You have to look at them, look over their heads, like the techniques to just show that engagement, so that you're not kind of and I think that's really important what you just said about sometimes we make assumptions, but no, don't make any assumptions with speaking. Make it very clear, and almost just say aloud what you want the thoughts of the audience to be. And I think that's really powerful.
Yeah. And I like to also address objections, address what they're thinking, because if you're an expert at what you do, and that's why you would be a speaker anyways in front of people, you've worked with clients and you know common reactions to different things, right? And that's why you call it out. Well, you may be thinking, well, Marta, easy for you to say because X, Y, and Z. My situation's different. Say that out loud. Chances are there's at least one person in the audience feeling that. Beautiful. So those are the strategies of engaging with the audience, but also sharing how you know what you're talking about. You've worked with clients, right? You know how people work in that context. So call it out.
I love that. Well, that goes perfectly into your the storytelling, but the strategy, because again, it's lovely, and I know for some people just getting on a stage and sharing their story is like tick, done. But ultimately you're in that room and you have the opportunity there, and really be clear about what you're also wanting to achieve at the end of it. Do you just want to be brave enough to tell your story, and you maybe paid all this money to do that, or do you actually want an outcome of this? Do you want to make an impact in another person's life? And I think it just goes back to that, like, still be raw, real, but also have that really clear intention in your mind as well.
Absolutely.
Wow, it's been amazing. Obviously, if there's anything that whether you want to discuss your book or anything coming up, any courses you have, like, please feel free to use this time now to share that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have my book I published in 2022. Oh my gosh, it's crazy to think. So it's been a few years. It's called The Empowered Woman, The Ultimate Roadmap to Business Success. And in it, I share a lot about what I talked about in terms of songwriting. Everything kind of has revolved around this. It's that inner dialogue that we all have, and that typically stops us from moving forward and doing the things that we want. It's geared towards women in business, but really anyone can benefit from it. But the idea is we sometimes worry so much about the strategy, you know, what should I call my offer? Or what do I even offer? What's the name of my business? What should I do on my website? Yes, those things are very important. But typically the clarity comes from you touching on things inside of you that have to do a lot with self-forgiveness, forgiveness for others, that awareness of your gifts and that people out there need your gifts. What are your gifts? So I touch on all of that. It's more of the inner work, which I believe is the foundation to everything, especially in building a business. I saw a quote the other day that really spoke to me, and it says, building a business, it's not really what's that hard. It's understanding the person you need to become and becoming the person to build a business. That's it, you know. Building a business or anything that's hard, it's like holding up a big mirror and showing you who you are, and that's why we avoid it.
Yeah. Wow, really powerful. Thank you. And so true. And it's not a tick and done, it is showing up every day, and being kind to yourself, you know. So I love that. Thank you so much. Yeah, just quickly before you go, do you have any daily like rituals or mindset practices that help you ground or keep you focused? And do you have anything that you could share?
Well, I love exercising early in the morning. Has been a staple for me that really helps me be in the moment, because I'm an overachiever, always doing things, super high energy. It's easy for me to get busy. And I know a lot of it is avoiding, you know, my thoughts, my feelings, what's going on inside. So I feel like exercise has been really, really helpful for me. And I do spend time, I'm a believer, woman of faith, so I do spend time reading the word, in prayer. I love listening to worship music, and also singing is a huge thing for me when I want to unwind. Like I look forward to, well, let me practice this song for an event or whatever it may be. All those things that help me more connect with myself, help me then be more present in the other things that I need to do.
Thank you so much. It's been a real blessing speaking with you. And just one last thing that I always ask my guests to do before they go is, just off the top of your head, if there was something that someone listening right now would really benefit from hearing, what would you tell them?
I would say your story exists, and you exist because it's meant to be shared, right? If you are here, then there is a purpose for you on this earth. So let it really shine through you. You know, you're meant to shine. There's a verse on the Bible that says you don't light a candle or a lamp and put it underneath a table. That doesn't make any sense. You have to put it on top of something so that it shines bright in the room. And oftentimes we hide ourselves because we don't believe that we have something valuable to share. But if you are here today, you have something valuable to share. Otherwise you wouldn't be. So I think everyone needs to hear this and be reminded of this, because it's so easy to forget and to shrink and to, you know, hide.
Wow, and that's such a powerful visual imagery as well. I definitely am very visual, and I will remember that. That's really, really powerful. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I've loved connecting with you.
Yes,
and I wish you success in all you're doing, and I'm definitely going to subscribe and look out for your new songs, which is really exciting. Awesome. You've definitely motivated me. Like, I'm more like a under the table, like making my own songs and then like quietly singing them to myself.
I know, put it out, girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love people to check me out on social media. I'm, Instagram, LinkedIn, and you can find my stuff either on YouTube or Spotify, any streaming platform. And also, when people share songs on Reels or Stories, if you look for my name, Marta Spirk, you will find my songs and you can share it as well.
Absolutely, and I'll put all your information in the description. Thank you.
Thank you.